And then, of course, Billy Sheetsley, who we all knew and loved up there on Upper Indian Flat, just passed away. So, Stevie, our condolences for that, and the two of them will be really missed.
Billy built that cottage over there. You must have met each other up there.
Yes. Yeah, Billy did the cottage there, and if Billy couldn't fix it, it was time to throw it away or build it. So, yes. So let's see. Being a semi-retired middle school teacher, you should always model the behavior you expect your children to manifest. So, I am Richard Thomas, and I've lived in the neighborhood for more than half of my life. I'm delighted to say when I finally managed to land in Nevada County in the early 70s, I thought, why would I live anywhere else? We were fortunate to buy a couple of acres over here at the end of Robinson King, that little gravel driveway at the top of the hill there, just by where Alberta used to live in the little white house. And I built our house there and raised our 3 kids there, and we are still there. We're delighted to be there. So, retired school teacher, worked for juvenile probation for a long time, built a house or two, and always played music. Because that was the passion, but not the paycheck. So now that I'm retired, I have time to play music, so I'm getting back to more of that. Life is real good. The garden is in, the peaches are gone, the corn is in, and we're making enough pesto for the whole year. So life is good.
Nevada City Rancheria, the Nisenan people who lived in our immediate area prior to the subdivision, prior to the gold rush, prior to any of the shenanigans that have gone around here the last 200 or so years, and the massive changes that we have brought versus the thousands of years that her people lived here without the kind of major disturbance and events that have come with us. So without further ado, Shelly Covert, we're delighted that her mother is here. Ginger is here with her today. So thank you, Shelly, for being here.
Thank you. Wonderful. So, almost always find a feather by my feet right before I talk, because I have really bad nerves and I get so anxious. So that always makes me feel better. And I just see that you have this gorgeous stand of moon, what we call it. Our neighbors call it moon. I think the mountain might call it moony or something close to that. And I guess it's a version of a mugwort. And so we use this to burn, especially for the dead. And then we also use the fresh wormwood, is also what we call it, the fresh leaves in water. And then because we cremated traditionally, and so we would sprinkle the wormwood water over the burn area and to appease the dead people.
You're talking about the short plants there that are...
Yeah, these, and I would love to take some home from this place if you guys don't mind.
No.
Harvest a little bit. You can see
Yeah.
it kind of browns from the bottom up, and the tops stay green, which is just weird to me. It seems like it'd be the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that much about plants, but it's really hard to find. That's one of the things we actually did. We partnered with the Sierra Streams you're speaking of for some of the Deer Creek Tribute Trail, the interpretive aspects, and then down by the bridge, the new suspension bridge. So we actually, that whole little site there, the landing at the bridge is actually the Nisenan tribute site. My cousin Saxon went and actually pecked, like the old style, they pecked the petroglyphs into rock. So we brought some petroglyph examples from around the greater area and brought them and put them there at the bridge landing on some of the rocks there. But he used, I told him he cheated. It's a little electric, it was run by a compressor, but a little tiny. So, I guess it's a contemporary. But we actually, because this is so hard to find, we really don't have anywhere to gather. And this is a decent stand there back here.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
So it must be water somewhere within reach of their feet, so we actually went down to Dobbins by our old cemetery, where there was a decent stand, and tried to transplant some up at the bridge site. So I'm always on the lookout for.
You can come dig some up. Yeah. I love that because I love that bridge. I love that whole thing.
Oh, I'm so glad. So the bridge is called Angtula Seu, and Seu is a waterway. And we found that was what we called it. It's not a strict interpretation from Deer Creek. It's actually translates to Stonepipe Waterway or Stonepipe Creek. and there's, again, working with Sierra Streams and some of the geologists there's a rare stone there. And I know that our people were really wealthy here in this area especially. We were talking a bit earlier, I was talking with somebody about, we didn't move out of the area seasonally. We stayed here, there's no reason to move. We did get snow here, as you guys know, here on sometimes, probably not recently. But, if you call, because they always say the Nisenan are nomadic people, and that we would migrate, and this just is not true. We had no reason, there's no reason to leave out of the area in winter. But if you call moving from here to Lake Wildwood the Great Migration, that's okay. But we, some of the people stayed and wintered here, and some moved down and wintered out of the snow line. But I did want to sing a song to open up for you guys.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of my butterflies. Okay, so about this song, and about the Cement Hill Neighborhood Association and you guys. So, Eileen, how long has it been? 6 years? 7 years?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were invited by the Greater Cement Hill Neighborhood Association to talk over, we had the event down off Augustine Road.
Right.
Someone had a
Bodie
round.
Ridge.
Okay, and so we were there, and it was the first invitation we, as a tribe, have ever had to come and speak publicly. And it was the first time that I'd sung this song, and I'm a musician. I've been on stage playing bass and singing since I was 15, but culturally translating that into an old song in Nisenan, it was really scary. My voice was shaking. I don't usually get like that. I get nervous, but I'm not a speaker, and I don't usually perform traditional stuff. So it was the first time that I'd sung this song. And it was just so special, for you guys to know, to actually come back and to be invited back, and then have the opportunity to sing and share the song in the language, and it hadn't been sung in, since Jane Lewis, I think, was the last one to sing it, and, it'd been, I could easily say 70 or 80 years probably that it had actually been sung out anywhere. And so, so with the song, it's about the Hestumiani, and it is what we call the Sutter Buttes. And my grandpa, when I refer to my grandpa and grandma, that's my mom's mom and dad, obviously. Well, I guess it could be my dad, mom and dad. No, so it's my mom's mom and dad. My grandfather was a man of very few words, and I was literally obsessed with knowing about magic stuff. That's what I wish now I'd had him sitting here with us today. I could ask him, I learned some about our genealogies and the ways of life from him, but I just wish he was here today to ask so many things that we're being asked now as we're trying to engage with environmental organizations, and they're actually interested in hearing about the tribal, it's actually called TEC, the tribal ecological knowledge, how we tended the forest with the burning and all this kind of stuff. And I just wish he was here. I wish I'd asked such a wider plate of questions of him, but my thing was the magic. So one of the things that he responded to me was that all life for us, Nisenan people here, we all came from the buttes, and he said it's not polite to call them that, because it's a modern Sutter Buttes or whatever, not polite to call them that. But all life comes from there, and that is where we return when we die. So our spirit takes a journey, and there's actually a spirit path down to the bottom of the mountain. And then I love that the clown persona in the culture is who judges us to go into the mountain where we get to go in or not. And I just, it's such great irony. I love that. And so once you get inside, you go up to the big spiritual roundhouse, and you get to have your spirit food and your time with your ancestors there. And then we go off up to somewhere in the Milky Way. And I always kid around and say, I hope there's better directions, because that's really big. Somewhere up there in the sky. So that was one of the very first things that I learned from my grandpa in that realm of knowledge, being given directly from him, was super, super important. And so the first real spirit song that I learned was about the mountain. And the first time I sang it was for you guys here. So I know it was a happen circumstance that I ended up here today with you all. The rancheria or the reservation being in such close proximity, everybody that we've met everybody gets excited to say, well, you know, we live on or near that reservation property. Some people still remember the old timers. As you said, that, you know, they're passing, they're leaving us. We just lost our entire upper generations. My mom's mom, my grandma Carmel, passed away last year, and she was 93. So we had a long time with her, but it's so nice to meet people who, you guys, whenever we talk about it, everybody's excited that, you know, are almost proud, I hear, that they're on or near the reservation. And I think we were almost forgotten for such a long time. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that, I mean, it's really special to be able to be here today. And I know Tanis was going to talk originally, and then she said, why don't you come along? And then she wasn't able to make it. So I just find it a weird, you know, fortunate events, how they all always happen to bring me here today. And so, but I want to share this song with you guys. And we actually, as we're starting to try to get our language back, reclaiming some of the new linguists out there, we're calling it language reclamation rather than language revitalization. I know it's just a, you know, a word, but it does say a lot. So this song is actually, excuse me, not the bird, actually in Nisenan, and there are 13 dialects of Nisenan. And some of the endings of the words are a little different than, and some of the actual plant names and place names are different from Auburn. The dialect changes like 20 miles from here. We just went to Washington, D.C. and found our dialect. They grouped Nevada City and French Corral together in a dialect. And then the Oregon House, Dobbins area is another dialect. So we've just found this amazing, all this information, and we have it, and now it's like, well, what do we do? How do we as a tribe decide what we're going to be speaking? Is there some savants, you know, in the tribe that are going to be able to speak both or three? Like the old grandpa spoke many dialects, old Chief Kelly spoke 8. So I'll sing the song for you guys, but as we translated it, it says, I have you in my sights, I have you in my sights, hear my song. We come to you and we bring offerings, and it literally says that you lay the offerings down in this outward armed motion, that we lay the offerings out. And it pairs so nicely with the oral history that we have. The tribes, the River Potwin, the Concow, and the Nisenan all have this story of the mountain, that's our spiritual center. And that we all, the old timers used to bring huge rounds of tobacco, and I'm sure the wormwood, but they would bring these big offerings and leave them at the mountain. It was a really big deal, and a lot of these cultures, I hope to have them back. I hope that we can start continuing or get over that break of it not happening. AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Pinita Hestumianim Yamenam, Leuio, 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 AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam, AUU Pinita Hestumianim Yamenam, Leuio, 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 AUU Vietnam, AUU Vietnam.
Very good, Shelly.
And in the old days, the old timers would, that was another thing my grandpa told me. He said our sacred number is 4.